Welcome to the Speed Art Museum. Come on, let's go inside. Hi, this is Derek. I am really glad that you are here. Welcome to I See, I Think, I Make, a show where we do three things. We see art in new ways, we think about big ideas, and then there's also an invitation for you to make original artwork of your own. It's a lot of things that we're trying to do. So before we begin this adventure, let's get ready. Okay, so before we set off on today's adventure, we need to exercise our imagination muscles. So we're going to imagine a few things, and sometimes it helps to close your eyes and see these things in your mind. Okay, first, let's imagine we've traveled to a place that's really hot, like a desert. How are we going to cool off? So wave your arms around really big circles to cool off. Move your hands like they're fans. Get all of that air around you moving. Take short, quick breaths in and then breathe it all out. Now imagine we've traveled to a place that's really cold. So tense up all the muscles in your arms and your back. Rub your hands together really quickly. Get all that blood moving. If you have room, you can stand up. You can hop up and down to warm up your legs. Now I want you to tense up all the muscles in your body like you're one big ice cube. And then I want you to give yourself a big, warm hug. Now, let's imagine we're somewhere where the temperature is perfect. Not too cold, not too hot. Maybe we're on a beach, looking out at the ocean. So let's all sit down, dig our toes into the warm sand, and slowly breathe in and out with the waves. You're now feeling relaxed, all because of the power of your own imagination. Now open your eyes. And we are back where we started. And now we are ready to begin. There are a few big questions on today's episode. What clues can you find in an artwork that tell us when and where the artist has traveled? What is a time or place in the world you would like to visit? And how can you share a place that you like with a friend who's never been there? All of our questions today are about travel. So since we're talking about travel, I've got something to show you. I've got an art object in here that might help us on our adventure. So first thing I'm going to do is put these gloves on because this is an object that I want to keep safe. And so this will keep all the oils from my fingers from getting on it. This is from a program called Art Detectives, and it's a crate that's called Discover Europe. And here's the object that I have. You ready? What do you think this is? Yeah, it's a pair of binoculars. Binoculars are used, you can see things that are far away because there's lenses in here. So when you look, you can see things that are far away. But what I want you to do right now is I want you to look closely and look for clues that can help us figure out when and where these binoculars are from. So for example, if you look closely, the first thing that you'll notice is these binoculars are made of metal. They're not plastic. This is brass, this gold color here. And if you look, there's all this green color on here. This is not paint. This is rust or oxidation. And this green color is what rust looks like on brass. Then if we keep looking, we're going to notice these little scratches Probably from use. Now, if all of these clues are starting to make you think that these binoculars are old, you are right. These binoculars are from the 1860s. They are more than 150 years old. It's fun to think about who might have used these binoculars, where they traveled to, what kinds of things they saw through them. So the more we look, the more things that we see. We could see the name of the company that's on there. We could look at this little dial that shows how they focus. We could do this all day, but instead of looking at the binoculars, we are going to look through them. So as I look through these, let's imagine we're going on an adventure. Let's pretend we're on the ocean. We're looking out in the distance. Maybe we can see a boat in the distance. What is that? It's hard to tell. Oh, maybe a couple of boats. I see clouds. I think we're out in the ocean. It looks like where we are, but it's not. We're not on the ocean. We are in an art museum. Looking at art is a way that we can travel to places that we can't go in real life. We can imagine what it's like being inside of paintings, like this one. This painting is from 1681. It's called A Frigate and Other Vessels on a Rough Sea by Ludolf Beckhusen I. So what are some things you notice in this painting? For example, how many boats do you see? 3, 4, 5? Look carefully. There are at least 12 boats, all different sizes. Some have sails, some don't. Many of these boats don't look like ones you would see today. So in addition to traveling to a new place like the ocean, this painting also helps us travel back in time to 1681. Can you imagine spending weeks or even months on a boat like this? If you look really carefully, you can also see some birds, a clue that we are close to land, even though we can't really see it in this painting. Another thing we might notice, some of these ships have flags, which might be a clue to where in the world we are. Since we're talking about flags, I've got a quick question for you. We've mixed up a list of flags and countries. See if you can match each flag with the country it represents. Make a guess. All done? Okay, here are the answers. Okay, so now we know with flags like these that go red, then white, then blue, we know that these boats are from the Netherlands. You know, it's fun when we're looking at paintings like this to ask ourselves, where would you like to travel? I asked some of my friends this very question.
Hi, I'm Shannon, and this is my niece.
Hi, I'm Brooklyn.
And my nephew.
Ethan.
So Brooklyn and Ethan, if you guys were going to take a trip on a boat, what would you be most excited to see or do on that boat?
I would like to see the waves go up and down.
The waves going up and down. How about you, Ethan? What would you be most excited to see on the boat?
Blue.
Because the water's all blue?
Yeah.
And what do you think we would hear on the boat?
I would think we would hear the ocean.
The ocean? What would you hear?
A birdie.
A birdie? Maybe birds flying around us? And I showed you guys a picture of this painting that we're talking about. Is the water in that painting rough or calm? Rough, right? There were lots of waves. So we might move back and forth like this on the boat and be knocked side to side. Where's your boat taking you, Ethan?
To the jungle.
To the jungle. What would you do when you get to the jungle?
I would swing on monkey bars.
You would swing on monkey bars? How about you, Brooklyn? Where's your boat taking you?
I wish I was in a beach.
Your boat would take you to the beach? That's a great place. The boat in this painting has a flag at the top of it, and that's a flag for the Netherlands. And that's actually a place I traveled to this year in January. So I wish I was on a boat taking me back to the Netherlands. That would be a lot of fun. Thanks for talking to me about boats today, friends.
Thank you.
Say bye. Bye, Derek.
Bye.
And if you're not able to travel to an art museum right now, that's okay. Many museums print up these collection catalogs. Let me show you what I mean. This one here is from the Speed. Does this picture look familiar? And if you don't have one of these collection catalogs, that's okay. You can use the internet to find artworks that will help you on your imaginary travels. Most art museums have websites that feature artworks from their galleries. Let me show you what I mean. So I've gone to the Speed website. It's at speedmuseum.org. And different museums set it up different ways, but here at the Speed, we've got our collections right here that I can go to. And under this, it's all clustered in different ways, but if I want to travel to, let's say, Europe, I can click here on European and American art. Maybe I want to travel to a different time period, 1700s, no. How about, I'm going to go to the 1800s. And then within this, I can look around for pictures that might help me think about traveling to a different place, maybe a different place in the world. All different pictures here. Oh, how about this one? So this painting here, my friend Brittany really likes this one a lot. Brittany has been looking at this picture online and thinking about how she can use this artwork to help her travel using the power of her own imagination.
Hello, my name is Brittany, and my friend Derek asked me to think of a time or place in the world that I would like to travel, and I thought about this work of art by John Singer Sargent. When I look at this painting, it immediately lets me know that we have stepped into a sacred place, a quiet world, a place of worship. I imagine people entering and exiting, each time leaving a piece of themselves behind, or maybe receiving a piece of themselves too. If I could travel to any place or any time in the world, I would say that I would want to travel to the future. I think that every day we leave small fragments of ourselves behind, and I would like to see how the things that I am doing today have had an impact on people in the future. Just as Santa Sophia, built hundreds of years ago, continues to have an impact on the world today.
Okay, let's make some art. Today, we are going to make art that can travel the world. Today, we're going to make postcards. Postcards can be sent through the mail. You put a stamp here, you write a message, and then you put an address on there, and you send it off to someone you know. On the front of them, postcards can have photographs, they can be paintings, they can be places that you visited, they can even be things that you've seen, maybe in museums. They can even be cartoons. There are some types of photographs that they put on postcards that for these postcards called "Wish You Were Here," meaning you've been to a place and you send your friend a postcard and letting them know that you're thinking of them while you visited this special place. The average postcard is 4 inches tall by 6 inches wide. On the back of the postcard, it'll be split in half, place for a stamp and the address and your message. You've seen some examples of postcards. Now we are going to make our own postcards. You can use a 4x6 index card if you want, or you can just cut your own out of cardstock. 4 inches tall, 6 inches wide. Then on the back, you're going to divide your postcard in half. The left side is going to be for your message. The right side, save a place for the stamp, and then put 4 lines so you can put the address of the person that you want to send it to. So now that you've made the back of the postcard, the real fun is deciding what's going on the front of it. So what kind of art would you make if you could travel anywhere in the world? You could make a collage like my friend Damaris did. You could make some string art like my friend Amber. You could make cutouts, or you can use markers or paints to make a picture. I made a postcard like one of those wish you were here ones that I was imagining like I was on Mars. I can't wait to send that to a friend of mine. Once you've finished your original artwork, then put a stamp on the back, address, and your message, and then send your artwork off on its adventures. If you'd like to send us one of your original artworks, you can. Send it to this address, the Speed Art Museum, care of I Think, I Make, 2035 South 3rd Street, Louisville, Kentucky, 40208. Make sure to say where you're sending it from.
Hello, my name is Jay, and I work at the Speed Art Museum store. And part of my job is I get to make fun things out of the artwork that comes to the museum. And one of the things I heard that you all might be working on is postcards, and we make a lot of those. The first one I'll show you is by an artist named Bert Hurley. And Bert Hurley was from Louisville. He was from the west end of Louisville, and he lived in the earlier part of the 1900s. And he used to write books, and he would illustrate those books himself. And oftentimes he used places that he was familiar with and people that he was familiar with to create new characters and new situations that existed in his imagination. So you can take a place that you've been to and add to it with your own story and your imagination. This last painter is Thomas Chambers. Now, Thomas Chambers was born about 212 years ago, so a while back. And he would often paint places that he had heard about but never seen. So this is really using your imagination when you're taking the details that people have told you about a place and putting your idea of what it may look like together. And he just did a wonderful job because in so many ways it looks a lot like the real Niagara Falls. So those are some great ideas for postcards, and have fun.
The world is really big, and it's not always possible to visit the places we'd like to see. Maybe those places are too far away, maybe they're from another time. But art can help us use our imagination to travel. We can look for clues to help us figure out where and when an artwork is from, and then ask ourselves, what would it be like to visit that place? Art can also help you stay connected to the people you care about. Even if those people are far away, we can make art that does the traveling for us. So, yeah, the world is a big place. But art can connect us to any time or place you want to go. Thanks for watching. I Think, I Make. Wow.
Hi, I'm Elliot. If you had fun traveling through art today, check out more artwork explorations on the Speed's website. Just follow the link in the description below. Have fun!